So, though the start of school is just 3 weeks away,
we all can use this remaining time to get our kiddos reading and ready for the school year, right? We're just singing Reading Rainbow. Back to talk about some of the picks for children of all ages. Jules Rivera from Books Are Magic in Brooklyn. So nice to have you back, Jules.
Thank you for having me back.
Real quick again, for those who may not have seen you the first time, tell us about the 2 locations.
So Books Are Magic, it's author-owned. Emma Straub, Eddie Joyce, as well as Emma's husband, Mike, own this bookstore, 2 bookstores in Cobble Hill and Brooklyn Heights. Really amazing, wonderful community space. We do a lot of story times for kids. We do author signings, book launches, you name it. We also give lots of dogs treats. We have fun.
Ooh,
we have fun.
like
We have
that,
fun.
okay.
something for the whole family.
Yeah.
But you brought us a few books, a selection here for children, and you're starting here with a picture book.
Yep.
Love a picture book.
All right, so Harlem Grown is about an empty lot across the street from an elementary school in Harlem. So that segment kind of touched my heart a little bit. It is essentially Tony Hillary. He came and brought the community together. They cleaned the lot out. They grew a garden. This is actually based on a real community, a real non-for-profit organization, excuse me. And a majority of the proceeds go actually to this organization. So
I love it.
Really awesome.
Very nice.
Mino Took the Bus. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful illustrations. It's about young little Mino, who's not so young and not so little anymore, maybe still a little, but is about to leave home, say goodbye to their mother for the first time, go to the city, takes the bus, and makes a bunch of different friends along the way. It's a really wonderful story about, the journey being more important than the destination.
Right.
And what would you say is the best age for picture books?
I would say about, it depends on the kid's
grades.
reading level,
Yeah.
and especially because these 2 books are really illustration based.
Yeah.
I think anywhere from 2, 3 to about 5, but I think older kids can also enjoy it as well. I mean, I read them in the store and I cry.
For now, if I were to get this for Olivia, it's one of those things where I read the first couple pages and I'm like, oh, suddenly the end.
Here we
it's
go.
bedtime.
And everything ended well.
Wow, yeah, and everything, and the tree grew in Brooklyn.
So Jude Saves the World. It's about Jude, non-binary kid, has a best friend, is living life, explaining, being non-binary to their family, et cetera, et cetera. A young girl gets kicked out of her clique, and the 2 accept her right away, which teaches Jude that maybe it would be important to, expand and really bring in the queer community to, be there for each other.
So this is a good one for middle school.
Yeah,
age.
this section is a really great middle grade
I like
type,
that too, right?
And there's also an LGBTQ index in the back as well.
That's great. That's so important for books like that to exist, especially what's going on right now around the country with some of the book bans.
Also written, sorry to interrupt you,
No, you're
written
good.
by a non-binary author as well.
Great.
Frizzy maybe looks like somebody that you know. I love this book. It's really, really great. It's a story about a girl it's also a graphic novel, about a girl who is told to straighten her hair to seem more presentable, to seem more mature. And she does so, but it's one of those things, she learns to how to, express herself and accept herself.
Oh, it's like a
It's a graphic novel.
Gotcha,
So it's really great for kids who, enjoy reading but also are a little bit more visual. And I think it's a really great storytelling tool as well.
That's awesome. It's really good for pulling kids away from their phones too, right? Getting them a little interactive too, and not just necessarily flipping a page with a lot of words. There's a whole interactive thing.
Absolutely.
My daughters love graphic novels.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're
And
great.
they have curly hair, so that'll be
So we have J.R. Silver. She came back from summer vacation. She feels like she's not really fitting in. Her best friend came home and has a new best friend. So she gets a story assignment from one of her professors, and she learns that everything she writes comes true. So she starts to do that, and things start to get a little bit out of hand.
Oh boy, yeah.
But still, fun nevertheless.
Okay, I love that.
And then we have One of Us is Lying, which is a fun, spooky kind of. There we go.
And this
I
is for
remember
what age?
from last time.
Yep.
Yep. So it's very breakfast clubby. It's a bunch of kids in detention, and one of them does not make it out. But the problem is that this kid was about to, put everybody in the school on blast. So everybody in this room has motive.
Everyone's a suspect.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go.
Everyone's a suspect. All right.
This one, really, really special.
Yeah.
So this is a story about a girl who is you know, she has a crush on a girl at school. She's, you know, she's of color and she's struggling with some of her white classmates.
Yeah.
Finding a way to express herself. She decides that she wants to throw a party, but she's already 16. So she's like, what do I do? So she decides to throw a coming out party.
Okay.
Nice.
Really wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's extra special because it was written by a Books Are Magic bookseller, Cameron.
Oh, very
Oh
nice.
my gosh, how
Queen.
wonderful.
Very
Yeah.
good.
She's
Awesome.
Okay, so
amazing.
that's Friday, I'm in love. And
Yes.
finally,
And so we have When the Moon Was Ours, and it's two quirky kids. They've got very supernatural friendship. One of them has roses that grows from her wrists, and they think that she was born in a water tower, but they're not really sure. And
Okay.
another kid who paints the moon and hangs from trees. And there are these rumored witches in town that are desperate for these roses. So these two, you remember wrist roses, remember?
yeah.
So these two band together and are trying to find out what they can do to try and not only get away from the witches, but also maintain their friendship as well.
Okay.
love that.
These
They're
are
all
great
really
selections.
Good.
Thank
Unique
you.
and current
I
at
know.
the same time.
I like the curation here that you've done.
Thank you.
Great picks. You can check out the books at Books Are Magic's 2 locations in Brooklyn, Smith Street, Montague Street as well. Make sure you support those local bookshops out there, all right?
Yeah, good stuff.